Hello, this is Erin Ware. Today I'm going to flip through my personal space journal, which is essentially my journal that is, just all the things related to just me as a person and what I like. And because I'm an artist and I work from home, and so much of my artwork is also, it's all personal. It's all like sort of mixed into what I do for fun. I decided to make a journal that was just about other things. Of course, art comes into it, but like it's just kind of what I'm interested in. It's a lot of reading, book related type stuff, hobbies, and just whatever, I don't know, just whatever I'm interested in. It all bleeds together with other stuff, but I do try to remember that when I'm in here, it's not work. It's not about work. And so it's April. It's like towards the end of April, but I just thought I'd call this like the first quarter flip through, because honestly, I haven't even done that much in April, and I'll probably talk a little bit about why. But so it's in a B6 Galen leather zip folio thing in the blue, the navy color, and I did stamp this with a stamp that I created, and then it's like the StazOn white ink and a stamp that I carved out, and it has faded, I think, because this leather is sort of smooth and shiny-ish. It has faded a bit, but that's fine. And then it's the B6 full year common planner, and I love this thing. It's my second year having a common planner, but last year I tried using it as a work planner, and it didn't work quite well because it's so big, and I think for me it works better as a journal. I love using it as a journal. It just feels like a cozy spot to be in, and it's very beautiful. This is an illustration by Bernard Nast, and then this is my pattern paper in the back, a pattern I made with that stamp actually, and then one of my old printables that's on Etsy, and then these pattern papers are in Patreon right now actually, if you're interested in, and I think so is that book stuff, but my printables are sprinkled throughout, and then I'll try to remember to tell you if I've used somebody else's stuff, but there's a lot in here, and so just ask if I missed something. I'm definitely not going to tell you where every single thing came from because there's no way, but feel free to ask, and yeah, I guess we'll try to sort it out that way. This is my vision board for the year, and so this is a vision board specifically for my like personal life, my home life, myself, and not business art type things. So there's like some clothes in here that I want to make. No progress on that so far. Well, there was some progress, but I didn't get very far because I was missing part of the pattern, and then that just like derailed me. I was trying to make a shirt and it did not happen, but we'll try again. Second quarter, we'll try again. There's like adventure type stuff, and I want to paint a chalkboard wall in my home, which I'm going to do this summer, and yeah, I don't know, all kinds of things. I want to paint one of my walls green, that's why that's there. And then these are some of these personal goals, mostly about being just kind of like being into my like what I'm interested in doing and taking care of myself, because I'm a mom and an artist, and I feel like both of those things are pretty consuming, for me at least, and for a lot of people. It's consuming to the point that I often forget about my own needs. Even I'm the type of person to forget about, eating until I'm like falling apart and feeling ill. So I'm trying to get better at that kind of thing, and just in general being aware of what's really important in life, and not just, getting caught up in everything, getting caught up in all the other stuff. So this is not much happened here. I tried to do some goals and I sort of did them, sort of got derailed, but it's all right. It's not like this, because this is personal life stuff. I just feel like it's not that serious. And then in the monthly section, I am tracking my reading. I use color dots for this, and what, I mean, like, it's going well. I love, this is like probably my favorite part of this book. It's just so fun for me to look back on, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm reading more because of this, because I can see a daily representation of how much I read and when I read. Like, I read several books at once, and that's the way I've always been, but I've also been the kind of person to like totally forget that I'm reading a book and leave it for months and not pick it up again. So this is a way for me to keep up with that, especially with nonfiction books. It's not so important that I read them like right away, like read straight through them. But I do want to keep up with them, and I do want to like go back to them on a more regular basis. And so I typically keep my nonfiction on the left side and the fiction on the right side. And I sometimes will write things like shows or short stories that I've read, and other like movies sometimes go in here. So kind of a general media tracker in that way, but much more for reading, because I do a whole lot more reading. A lot of the stuff I watch is like YouTube. So there's no way I can keep track of every YouTube video that I watch. So I don't even try. And then in the weeklies, mainly a memory keeper, I try to make it kind of like good things or gratitude log in a way. And I got away from that. It's just too easy to get into the whole like just trying to write down everything that happened, everything that I did. And it usually is pretty positive. So it usually is in a way like gratitude, or just like keeping up with good things throughout the day. But I feel like over time it gets to be more and more like of I don't want to say burden, but it gets to be a little bit overwhelming to keep up with, because it's just so much. And like this week I was having a really good time. Obviously it was like a good week for me to keep it. I'm pretty sure that I was in this throughout the week. Like I kept up with it throughout the week. And then this week I remember I started it and then I had to go back and fill it in. These are Courtney Diaz printables. I printed them on vellum. They're just kind of fun. Flippy little things here. And actually these stickers are hers too, her printables. And yeah, so it just depends on the week, but I enjoy this space, the weekly space, as sort of an area where I can play with it and change things if I need to. I don't feel like I have to be doing like all of this every week, but I will say that it has changed because I started the bullet journal. That if you've been around, you know the whole saga with the bullet journal thing, and the I tried using a Sterling ink notebook, and then I moved back into my traveler's notebook, and that's going great. But I do keep a daily log in there now, and that means that I am writing down memories and notes as I go throughout the day. And that has kind of taken the place of this in a way. I don't like to repeat things or like have to write them in multiple places. So I have changed a little bit what I'm doing in here, and I'll talk about that when I get there. But this was basically the only place where I was kind of keeping track of daily memories. things like the kids were doing and things that we as a family were doing, stuff that I was doing for work. Like for a while, this was kind of it as far as that goes. And then things were changing around here. And yeah, so things changed. I was fully into the daily logs in my traveler's notebook, and so I was thinking of ways to use this, and this is like a place where I thought I would take some of those creative goals that I put in the beginning of this notebook and kind of keep like a weekly kind of an intentions of what I hope to accomplish. And this did not really, well, we've had a lot going on, so I can't say that it didn't work. It's just that we've had a lot going on, and I haven't been able to get to a lot of things. This was more of a, what would this be? Almost like a scratch pad, or like as if I had it out on my desk and it was just a place where I caught things or just captured things quickly. I did some swatching and books I finished, and it just was kind of like whatever, which worked out, I think, pretty well. I would do this again, just kind of capture the real big things of the week. Whatever that means, big. To me, big means I got some new colors at the art supply store. And then this week, I did not do anything, and I realized there's something on the page, but I didn't do anything until today, actually. And today is the 23rd of April, and what I needed to do was I'm uploading some new printables to Etsy, and they're not new, actually, they're from Patreon, but they're like new to Etsy. And so I needed to reprint them for myself and cut them out. And I'm trying to make like a little video for Etsy, like just a real short little video so you can see it in use. And so I was trying to capture some of that, like the whole thing, like the cutting out, the not the printing, but like the printed object, the cutting out, and then like the sticker book that I have, and then putting it in here so people could get an idea of like what the whole process looks like if you purchase an item from me. And so I kind of went backwards and did this, and then I used this spread as just like a general, like what kind of things are coming up. It's going to be summer before I know it. The kids are going to be out of school, and I'm just trying to capture like what things are on my plate as far as that goes. Like, what do I want to remember? What do I need to think about? What do I need to get ready? And so I didn't do all that for the Etsy. The little tiny Etsy video is going to be probably just a few seconds long. I can't imagine it can be that long. But I just needed to get them on the page. And then I used the page for this because I don't know, because I didn't want it to go to waste. And you saw like how full it's been so far, and I didn't want to abandon it. So I'm just trying to keep up with it a little bit at least. And then this is this week, and so it's going back to being kind of like just a gratitude, capturing one thing a day maybe that I'm grateful for or happy about, or it's just like a good thing. So these are also my printables that are going up in Etsy, so I made it for that. And hopefully I can make a little video that looks decent for Etsy. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. The link is below if you're interested. I'll put the link for the Etsy shop. And by the time you watch this, those newer listings, which maybe about 3 or 4 of them will be up by then. And I also plan on running a sale, which editing me will make sure happens, right? So, yeah, that'll be linked below. So enough about that. I have not done a whole bunch in the back, but I'll just flip through this so you can see what's going on back here. I mean, I have done a good bit back here, but in April, I have not done very much. So maybe you've seen this before, but I just kind of made this a place where I captured a lot of my favorite things that I'm interested in. There's like a lot of book stuff in here. Book lists of like, you know, books that I hear about, I might want to check out, I might want to read. I maybe have read and I check them off the list. Stationery wish list. This is like a kind of a syllabus I made for myself, which I'm not following at all, but I did start reading a couple of these books, and I don't know, life moves so fast. Sometimes, I don't know, I just get caught up with other types of books, and maybe we'll get back to this. Eventually, I'd like to read all of these. To be honest with you, Ian McGilchrist came to Savannah recently. I've seen him speak before. It was really good. I just was able to go one evening, but I saw him when I was in grad school. He came to my grad school. So anyways, I wanted to read this book since he came to my school back in 2016, I think. And I started reading this book. This book is massive. It's so big. And so I kind of started it like, he's coming, I'm going to go see him speak, so I need to read this book, which the book is insanely big. So there's no way I'm going to read that book. But it kind of got me off this whole path, and now I'm like, why did I do that to myself? So we'll see. I don't know. Do you do that kind of thing? Like make a plan and then completely mess it up? Sewing patterns that I want to get back to. Once again, I've not done any of that, but that's all right. And then I have been using these monthly trackers. I have one in my bullet journal now that is working a lot better because it's contained within like where I do my daily logs. So I'm doing a better job keeping up with mood and energy level, stuff like that, symptoms, anything that's like health related, just to kind of keep track of that stuff. But in here, I've kept up with having one as well. These first ones are the old ones that I was trying to do mood and energy. But since I'm doing that in my bullet journal now, the April one was more about like, did I write? Did I make art or journal or paint or that kind of stuff? So this is a current list of books that I have completed. I'm wondering if you can hear this loud. There's a tree coming down. Apparently it's like booming the ground. It's like shaking the ground. I don't know if that's affecting you at all. Yeah, so it's the books I've read. This is working out some like planner and journal lineup stuff. And that's when I got my black traveler's notebook that I'm still using as my planner, which has worked out really well, actually. I never got back to this. I made it, and I feel like I've completely forgotten about it because it's mixed in all these pages. I'd like to do this. I'd like to actually make some kind of plan. Maybe I will. This is sort of like a commonplace type entry. I have a different notebook to put this sort of thing in now, and I was sort of just testing it out in here because towards the beginning of the year, I wasn't quite sure how this book would, like what all it would be. But I've separated that kind of thing. And this, yeah, notes and knitting notes that I probably should do something with. This is some notes on this. It's from a magazine called, what's it called? It's the, what do you call it? Skibwe. I always call it Skibwe. The Society for Children's Book Writers and Illustrators magazine, which I used to be a member of and I'm not anymore, but these are some old articles that I copied. I didn't copy out, I took notes, just some ideas that I thought were cool. Really, ideas that are just like fun for I mean, I feel like this would just be fun to do. Like make a character journal, like a character who has a journal, what would their journal look like? And this would be like just kind of scrapbooking details about your character, like finding stuff online, and I don't know, just like a creative exercise. It's kind of cool. This is 24 books and 24 that are from my bookshelves. So I made this towards the beginning of the year, and it was supposed to be like finish some of these books that I've been having on my shelf for too long. And then of course I added a bunch of books that I've purchased more recently. And so I'm not sure, I don't know. These are, yeah, we'll see. I need to get to these. Some of the books from that syllabus that I was talking about are on here. And I put this one on here, to be honest, because I started reading it recently, and it has been on my bookshelf since like 17 or so, somewhere in there. And it's North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, and it's good so far. I don't know if you've seen the mini series, but it's really good. I've seen it several times, and I just recently watched it again when I wasn't feeling well. It's like a comfort watch. And so because I had the book on my bookshelf and I was so into the mini series, again, I thought, now's the time. I'm gonna read it. And it was a good choice because I'm really enjoying it. It's good. I think that if you like Pride and Prejudice, you probably will like this, but it is a different time period and a little bit different feel. It's more industrial. It's more about like social justice, and it's good. I'll tell you about the book when I finish it. I'm not done with the book yet. This is another monthly tracker, some book notes and stuff, ink swatches, Lent notes, ink swatches, and some washi tape swatches. This was just kind of a list of things I thought sounded fun, some short story collections that I own that I want to read, poetry. I think I was just trying to maybe feel inspired again. I feel like this was maybe a time when I needed a little pick-me-up, and so I made a pretty page about things that I like. This is notes about stuff. And okay, so this is when I got really into making lists of books. There are several pages of book lists. I had so much fun doing this. It was like an entire weekend of fun, where I just went through all these various lists on the internet that I found of like the best books that you should read. I chose a few, and I went through and wrote down the books that I had actually read, and then the books that I want to read, and then how many times they showed up on the lists. So, for instance, Brave New World, I own that book, and it showed up on the three lists I was looking at. It was on all three of those lists, so I put 3 stars. So, yeah. So just to kind of help me decide what to read next, I guess. It was fun. I learned some things, and it was fun. So this is a page where I'm collecting the books that I have purchased this year, and I feel like it's mostly complete. I maybe I have 1 or 2 to add. I can't remember, but it's a little like when I put it down here, I'm like, oh wow, that's a lot of books. So probably don't need to buy any books until I read some more. And here's March. I like how I've been doing this lately. March and April, I like them. So I've used Courtney Diaz's monthly calendar printed on vellum, which is really beautiful, and then kind of made like a page of important dates for the month. And then on this page, I have my tracker. And this one, I think I was still trying to track mood or energy or something like that in my cycle. And it's not complete. And it's because this journal is not an everyday with me by my side journal. It's like when I'm having personal time, like relaxing time. So it's not something I get in every day. So it wasn't a good place to have a tracker. So I've changed that. Okay, so here's when I set up my bullet journal. I was like working it out, the reasons for having a bullet journal. And I made a little like a key, like a index card type thing, key. So wrote out like the reasons why. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go back and watch my previous videos where I go through all the reasons and the things I was trying. Okay, and here's some more book lists. I was watching Jared Henderson on YouTube, and he has several videos where he's just talking about like lists of books that he likes. I was focusing on the science fiction, fantasy, mostly science fiction. I think some fantasy began here, but I love science fiction and I love fantasy too, but I don't know, there's something about science fiction that I really love, and I haven't been reading it for a while. I've been more in more of a fantasy phase, I guess, but I want to get back to it, and so I just wrote down all these books that he recommends. I don't think I've read any of these. Have I? Maybe I have. Yeah, I have a few. But yeah, I was happy to get a new refreshed list of recommendations because I haven't been reading science fiction for a while, and it was just good. For the most part, I feel like this guy, Jared Henderson, and I have kind of similar tastes. I can see where they differ, but I feel like we're on the same page enough that I could definitely take from his list and find some books that I would really love. And then this is his top 10 fantasy novels. And yeah, I've read some of those and want to read some of those. So I need to put something here. I don't know what is going to go here, but something. Maybe I'll find another list of books to put here. And then this is April. I put this moon image with this woman. I wonder if you can see that very well. But it's for the eclipse, obviously. I just needed some kind of moon image. I thought that one was like kind of weird and also kind of amazing. And important dates. I don't know why this page just really, I guess it's because of this. It doesn't want to sit down. I am celebrating my 10-year anniversary this month with my husband, and yeah, anyways, birthdays, Courtney Diaz, printable, and in this tracker, which I probably need to write down something about it, but I am trying to track when I paint or make art or write or do some kind of hobby related thing. And this is not updated, but I do have all this information in my daily log. But what I did do is I put green marker down here in this line where my kids have been home with me this month. And so if you can see, today is the 23rd. So I've only had a small handful of days when I could actually get some work done. And the one of these days my husband was home too. And he doesn't bother me like my kids do. But it's weird. I don't know, when you're used to being alone during the day and you, I don't know, he was home, it made me feel kind of like I couldn't do as much work, I guess. So I just feel like I've had a deficit work time this month, which is why things are kind of weird, but it's okay. It's a season. This spread I made, like I decorated it for a video for Patreon, and then I am currently working on a writing binder type thing, a notebook, where I'm keeping track of something, some things for a project. And so I just kind of wanted to have a space for that. It's not complete and my notes are not complete, but it's just a space to kind of write things down and also just to be excited about it. I mean, I love this vibe. So I just wanted to make a cozy spot to put the notes for this workbook because it's exciting to me, and it's just fun to kind of play into those, like what's making me happy or what I'm looking forward to. It's fun to journal about it and kind of have that meta experience of like, I mean, you can tell that I do that a lot actually, where I am kind of recording things about my, like this, I record, like I have notes about my lineup, I have notes about bullet journaling, I have notes about my writing notebook. I like doing that. I think that it helps me to write things out and see them in order to process through a project. And so it's actually helpful, but it's also like really fun. I have a lot of fun doing it, and it feels like it's important. I mean, it is important to me, but sometimes I feel silly making things important. But in my journal, in my little personal space journal here, I can make whatever I want important. Like this is my space. So I can say that this is really important to me, and so I'm going to take time with it, and nobody else has to care about it. You know what I mean? It's okay. So, yeah, I have a lot of pages left in here to go. So I'm hoping to kind of speed up a bit with this and maybe just have some more pages of writing. Not so much decorating, even though I love the decorating. I think that writing in here would be nice too. And in the back here, I did start this in December or even November. I started in November, like at the very end of November. So I was doing like kind of weekly type stuff in there. And then I started this reading tracker, but I haven't kept up with it. So maybe not get back to that. I probably will, but we'll see. And then I did start a little like contents sort of thing back here, which I've only put a reference for that piece of artwork. So I don't know. There's a lot of pages. It feels like a whole book in and of itself. And then, yeah, but look at, I mean, it's beautiful. I'm so happy about it. It's such a happy place to be. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of who I am and who I want to be. When I'm in here, I get to decide what's important to me, I guess, and what I like and what I think is pretty and whatever. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that. I feel like I've just blurted out a whole bunch of things, so hopefully it was cohesive and comprehensible, something like that. So I will see you soon. Videos will probably be sort of sporadic throughout the spring and summer because kids. And if you want to see my videos, you can subscribe and click the bell icon, which I suppose works, I guess, if you want me to show up in your page feed thing when I do post videos. So I don't know how it works, and I honestly don't know how many bell icons I've actually clicked, but if you'd like to see when I post, then please do that. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you have something like this that you'd like to share, and I will talk to you soon. I love you. Goodbye.